I just had them chop it out.
This one company.
It wasn't a big deal. We weren't doing anything anyway.
This one company tried to copyright me for music in my videos, and it was my music.
Yeah, now see, that's gonna be funny because everybody's using GarageBand.
Like, I can show you the file, man. Like,
I know, but
I got all the songs.
But
right
everybody's using GarageBand, which means we're all basically using the same sounds. Just like everybody's using Epidemic Sound and all these other places that have music. And so eventually, I've heard Potato Jet's theme music on someone else's video because they all got it from Epidemic. Right, they got it from Epidemic Sound.
I mean, in Asphalt,
but we would love to get our music from Epidemic Sound.
In Asphalt 9, they have some of the music that Dude Perfect uses in their videos. Right. That's the same songs.
So to me, everybody soon it's all got to be royalty free.
Ubisoft, one of the biggest game companies,
they ain't got no money.
Used a GarageBand sound loop.
They ain't got no money
in their Monopoly game.
I mean, that's kind of why I use GarageBand because I ain't got no money.
I was watching the Game Grumps play it. And I was like, I've used that loop.
I know that sound.
10 songs with that same loop.
You know what's funny about that? I mean, that was the thing when we talk about music production. That was the thing that drove the music producers like a Timberland and all them, Swiss Beats. It like drove them to be innovative because they didn't want people going, I know where you got that sound. Like, you've got this keyboard and that's where that sound came from. Or you bought that sound pack and now everybody knows that sound. And they fought against that by changing the sound and redoing it and kind of messing it up or messing with it enough that you go,
throwing
I don't know what that is.
On it and making it
sound different. Yeah. So basically, that's the kind of world you're gonna get to. I mean, you're gonna have to do that because if everybody goes out and goes to the same few places to get their stuff, they're gonna have to modulate it in some way, shape, or form.
Unless you play it yourself from your brain, you're not gonna get a difference.
And that's what I did with my my thing that might be in the video next week.
Yeah,
next Thursday.
There was one artist, I think he made like half an album with the default sounds in FL Studio.
Nice.
And they're all the deep, like no plugins, no changes. It's just the default sounds with a MIDI keyboard.
I usually do that. With the GarageBand, I'll go on a run where I do like 5 or 6 in a day, and one of the songs will just be a whole bunch of the default stuff made into something that sounds halfway decent, and is like, I like that. You know, I mean, basically, how is it different than getting a bunch of different colored paints? I mean, you if you just use the colors you were given, mix nothing, get no don't do anything to change the paint. Now paint something. Of course you could do that, right? It's just a matter of your creativity. So,
but then once you say, okay, now you can mix all of the paints.
Right, now you can do another thing.
You can take it, because if you go...
But I don't think you get any more. I just think that now you just open up yourself to making other choices.
Possibilities.
Well, you have more possibilities, but maybe you only use...
half of the palette.
Yeah, you don't use as much, because now you let's say you get 20 base colors, just colors. Now you tell me I can mix them, but I still may, in my painting, only use 5 or 6. Yeah. It doesn't matter that I can mix them.
Because I don't need those different shades of blue or the other greens or whatever. And like in GarageBand, I go in there and look at the loops, and I have something in my head, and it's like, okay, I'm going to limit myself to a sound pack, and then I can make something. Because if I don't, I'm just going to be scrolling forever looking through everything. So it's like, I want a specific drum fill, I'll go look for that. But
I tend to just go down and be like, tick, 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 tick. Yep, that sounds good. Throw it in. That
but
works.
I do that and limit it to either like a genre or a specific sound pack or something, and then
I ain't limited.
Then I can work better.
I ain't limited at all. Oh, it was your uncle's birthday this week too.
Yes.
On the 22nd.
Yes.
So it's two of y'all Taurus people.
I'm sorry, but Kelvin's birthday is today too. My nephew.
Today.
And
Sister Fee's birthday was yesterday.
Yesterday.
And
Well, maybe Tauruses are
Alea's
taking
birthday is today too.
Oh God.
Today.
Maybe this gotta stop. Make you feel like you need to jump off the planet.
That's not a thing you can do.
No?
That's a lot of people in one family in one day.
That is a lot of people.
It's like in my family.
All the background music that you hear on our videos when we're sitting here talking like this and you hear music, that's all from the uncle.
Like, listen.
That's all Really? That's all the CSparks music.
You're gonna cut it out right as I say that, aren't you?
Now that you gave me the idea, sure.
That's what I would do.
Why? That's what you would do?
You look stupid, yeah.
Everybody listen!
Crickets.
I have that sound.
Do you really? Oh, yes, you do.
I found some good crickets.
Because you said them crickets are real loud.
Yep.
You jack that sound up really loud.
The funny is real, people. The funny is real. All right. What else you got for the people? We have Trump is giving out medical advice to all of his supporters only.
Go to the
Medical advice to his supporters only. This is not general medical advice for the planet. This is only Trump supporters are supposed to follow Trump's medical advice.
And you know what? Go ahead.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Do it.
It's totally fine. You'll be great. You'll feel awesome.
It'll work.
After that Lysol hits your stomach, oh, it'll be great. You have a
Or,
great time.
your vein, because he said to inject it.
Once you get skin cancer,
and when that light goes up your ass in order to shine throughout your body, that'll be you'll feel much better then.
You get skin cancer on the inside.
You know the image I have is that lady from Armageddon, where he says, "Look, lady, I'm just here to dig," and she goes, "Wah," and it's just giant long rod
Scope.
and she's like, "Me too."
Oh no.
You don't remember that?
No.
When they were all getting the enemas and he was like, "Ooh, it's tingly." You don't remember that?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch Armageddon again.
Yeah. I saw it when I was little.
But yeah, that's what I envision Trump has been using on himself, with a light on the end of it,
He's been
and
doing
he's just been
Clorox,
shoving it up his own ass,
Clorox enemas.
along with his own head.
They should try a Clorox
A
enema.
Clorox enema. That would be fucked
Yes.
up.
So
Yeah,
if you are a Trump supporter and you believe he is right, go ahead and do that.
Do whatever he tells you to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the idea that he came out and said that, oh, I was just being sarcastic.
That motherfucker
It's
doesn't
like,
know what
oh my
sarcastic
God,
is.
you.
Can't even
Why
spell
would anybody?
You can't spell sarcastic.
Why would anybody even try to use that? He was clearly spitballing in the press conference.
Yeah, we've all seen the video.
I mean, he's sitting there, literally just, looking to the side to someone.
The doctor. It was the doctor.
We could do this thing, right? And we could do this thing. Like, he's looking for validation for his dumbass ideas in the moment with the press. It was like, it seems like somebody from the press would be like, didn't y'all talk about this already?
no.
Didn't
they know
y'all
better than that.
Didn't y'all have this conversation in that other room before you walked out here? Because it doesn't sound like you have a plan. It sounds like you're trying to come up with a plan right now, like in the moment.
To kill your foe.
It's like, why? And I keep saying it. Stop covering him.
I've said it like
He's
1,000
going to
times
get
today.
people killed. What's the hashtag? He lies, people die.
Yep, he lies, people die.
I mean, come on. Stop covering him. It's a public.
50,000 Americans have died.
What is this?
More than
Public
50,000.
health risk.
Yeah, it's a public service to not cover the president of the United States right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because if you cover him and he says things like this, like using disinfectant inside of your body, which is poison, what? Why would anybody want to cover that on their channel? Why would anybody want to tell people that this is what the president is saying? Because people believe him.
So our whole entire lives, we've been told household cleaning products are poisonous. They'll kill you if you ingest them.
I mean, even soap can be poisonous if you eat it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it says on everything.
Clean inside.
Keep away from children. Do not ingest, for external use only.
External use only.
And this motherfucker's talking about inject some disinfectant or ingest some disinfectant into your body, and it cleans it up in like 1 minute. So
No, that was the light.
No, that was a disinfectant.
The UV rays.
The UV rays. That was the light.
So
1 minute.
I was like, what the fuck? As I'm watching this happen, I'm like, what the fuck? The next thing you know, Facebook is flooded with some hilarious memes, but also with notifications from companies like Clorox and Dettol and Lysol saying, do not ingest or inject this.
Unless you are a Trump supporter, and
you should
then
do
you
whatever.
Are totally
you
okay.
should do what he tells you to do. Your
make it out
Fuhrer.
of that alive.
Do what your Fuhrer says.
Your children will not turn into ugly fish babies.
They will not turn into ugly fish babies.
They won't be alive.
Neither will
To
you.
turn on into nothing.
Go ahead and do that.
He is the Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Jim Jones.
He's
a cult leader.
Cult leader.
Who ended up killing all of his followers.
Yes, he did.
Is that the Kool-Aid guy?
It's the Kool-Aid guy.
Killed all the kids first, and then killed all their parents. Yeah, I don't. Something about this, just not right. I'm sorry. The memes to me, I saw one where
Clorox.
everybody was. It was a picture of cups. No, not the chewables one. The cups. It was a bunch of cups, like a slushy drink inside, and it had Lysol on the side.
Well, I saw one that it was a guy.
The memes are not good either.
The guy had a can of Lysol with a straw in it, drinking, and then there was another one who had like the spray bottle of Lysol and a spray bottle of a Clorox cleaner upside down, and then tubes going from them, and it looked like it was
like
an IV into his arm, and he's laying on the sofa.
Yeah, it's just a bad idea.
Yeah, it is.
I think right now the only voices we should be hearing, honestly, are the medical establishment. It should be the CDC on a daily basis. The President of the United States should be banned. They should stop letting him be broadcast because he's not a medical doctor. He doesn't have any qualifications for giving this information. He is not
qualifications for living.
He's not a good press secretary for himself. So you need to stop covering him. Just stop covering him when it comes to any of this stuff, because he's going to get people killed. Because some people think that they honestly believe this, if the president says it, it's true.
Oh, yeah.
There were people like that. If Obama said it, it was true. If Trump says it, his supporters think it's true. Do not cover him because he's basically going to get people killed. He convinced people to not, like elected officials, not to close their states. And then when their numbers spike, then they want to sit back and act like they're surprised that there was a spike. It's like, but everybody knew that that's what was going on. But you listened to Trump.
Yeah.
And Trump told you not to close.
Well, Michigan
You shouldn't
had
have done that.
Michigan had that group of people who went to Lansing and were protesting at the state capitol with guns and all kinds of bullshit. And they had no masks, no gloves, no distancing. And yesterday, MLive reported that Michigan has had the highest spike in 9 days, and they're attributing it to the protesters.
Well, I mean,
And
they
now
all came
yesterday-
together, and
And
then they all
yesterday it happened. The
went
same
back
thing
home.
happened in Wisconsin, and all of these. there has to be something that Trump can be held criminally liable for, because what he's doing is illegal. He said, liberate Michigan, and then these people went and protested, and now all these people are sick. So, first of all, if he can tweet whatever the hell he wants, but when people start acting on his direction, then that's the illegal part.
At what point is it those people's choice?
It's always their choice, but they're following directions from him.
No, you can't say they're following directions and making a choice at the same time. If they are making a choice, that means they had the power to choose, which means they are liable. They are responsible for the choices that they make. If you're saying that they're like a child who gets no choice and then they do what their parents tell them to do, the parent is liable. So, is Trump the parent, or do the people have choice? The people have choice as far as I'm concerned. It's not a hard thing for me to figure out. But if you're I always thought that giving medical advice,
when you're not a medical professional.
Well, no, whether you are or not, you're held liable for what happens to people if they follow your advice, if you act as if you are an authority. Yeah. Like you have information that other people don't have, which in most times the President of the United States might have information that you don't have, because he does have the CDC behind him. He does have research behind him, and maybe they found something that has not been told yet.
But that doesn't work if you just make up something.
Right, on the spot, and all of a sudden,
something out of your butt.
But everybody assumes she's got, we don't have a she president yet, but when the president in the bully pulpit stands in front of the people and says, this is something you can do, your first thought is, he's got information that we don't have. He's got information from the CDC, and the CDC hasn't said anything yet.
Speaking of which.
Whereas, like I keep saying, the CDC should be the only voices. They should be the only ones saying anything, because then we'll know we can trust it, because they're doing the research. They're finding out. You know? So, if you want to follow the Traveling Farce, you can follow us at the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, and basically anybody that does podcasts. I'm not saying Google Podcasts anymore, because it's anybody who does podcasts. This is anybody who does podcasts. We are the Traveling Farce. If you like the Instagram and the Twitters, we are Traveling Farce. If you like the email, we are travelingfarce@gmail.com, which she reads all the time. And the blog space, thetravelingfarce.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry. We are out of here.
Bye, people.
Say goodbye to the people. Say goodbye to the people.
Happy birthday.